Hey babe, it's your girl Bree, spelled like the cheese, aka your cosmic bestie. And today I'm here to talk about the Aquarius full moon. Okay, if you are watching this, this is for July of 2026. Our full moon in Aquarius is this Wednesday, July 29th. So I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to talk about this because this feels like a really big moon coming out of this Cancer energy and season. For those of you that do know me inside of the Stella Nova collective, your girl is whimsy maxing, okay? I wanted to hop in and share. I got this croissant pen. And if you know me, you know I love bread and everything else. Literally, this is my computer armrest. It's a baguette. That's just who your girl is. And I got this today. My attitude is extra spicy. This is for when I'm feeling really angry. This is where I'm going to put all of my grievances, in this little notebook. But anywho, if you are here for this full moon breakdown, I am now an iPad girly. Love that for me. But this is where I have my notes because I do my digital note taking. So let's hop right into it. Hold on, let me fold this up so I can see, which by the way, this kind of case, I'm really living for it. So the Aquarius full moon, okay, full moons are always emotional. They are the climax of the cycle. What's been building is done. The truth is, it hits your chest before it hits your brain. That is what this full moon is going to be doing with us. It has extra juice because the sun is conjunct Jupiter in Leo, one of the luckiest and most expansive aspects in astrology, sitting directly opposite of the Aquarius moon. So this moon is conjunct in Pluto in Aquarius. And if you're hearing all of this and you're like, I have no idea what she's saying, bear with me, take your time. Basically, this is all meaning this isn't just an emotional culmination, right, of energy here. This is transformational energy, deep, permanent, can't go back to who I used to be kind of transformation. And Mercury just went direct on July 23rd. So that fog that we had during Mercury retrograde, right, is now lifted. And the clarity is now here. Whether you have decided what you're actually going to do with that or not, with the newfound clarity that you have seen and that you have started to feel, right? What are you going to do with that clarity? What really came through where you're like, maybe it's dropping a person, a job, a relationship, a friendship, whoever, right? Family members. What exactly is it that the clarity came in through for you? Because now this Aquarius full moon is really going to crank that up. This is one of the most powerful full moons of this year. So let's get into Aquarius, okay? Aquarius gets bad rap for being cold and emotionally unavailable. And honestly, miss me with that shit, okay? Miss me with it, because Aquarius energy is actually more radical. It's more authentic. It has a collective vision. It's refreshing. I'm sorry, not refreshing. It's refusing to shrink, right? That is really Aquarius's energy. It refuses to shrink themselves to fit into a space that was never built for who they actually truly are. Not the mask, but the real them, the real version of them. Who is that really, right? Who are you really? And maybe that's something that's been coming up for you a lot during like Cancer season, but now we're in Leo season, right? So this Aquarius energy while in Leo season is really going to rock us in many ways because Aquarius rules the 11th house. That's community, that's collective, long-term vision, hopes and dreams. The part of you that knows your unique weirdness is not a liability. It's who you are. And that's the whole fucking point, like actually seeing who you are, not the version of yourself that other people have told you, not the mask that you feel more comfortable with, not the people pleaser, not any of that. Who are you really? How weird can you be? Because I keep talking about like whimsy and stuff, right? I mean, this is literally my wrist, like when I'm on the computer. I got a croissant pen. I have a soft pretzel mouse pad. Okay, I'm a carbaholic. I'm a pasta girly, right? That's what I love. That's who I am. I love cheetah print. I'm obsessed. I cannot help myself. I love the weird and eclectic and, you know, these random things. And I'm starting to realize that with myself. But also, I love, you know, rom-coms. My favorite movie of all time is 50 First Dates. I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. I can quote that movie front to back. That's how many times I've watched it. We have to start embracing this version of ourselves that we have been too afraid, or we have been conditioned to change, right? To make other people feel better, to make other people feel, you know, that they're actually being seen and heard by pushing you down. That's not what Aquarius is asking from us. So, getting into this, with Pluto conjunct in this moon, Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and deep transformation. Whatever is being illuminated under this full moon is not small in our lives. This is, I cannot keep living like this, and I know it energy. This is the moment where something you have been probably more half aware of becomes completely undeniable in your life. Maybe that came through during Cancer season, during Mercury retrograde, where you're like, can't pretend like this hasn't happened anymore. Can't forget about this. This is the moon where it is re-solidifying that within ourselves, okay? And maybe it feels a little scary. I know it feels a little scary for me, but this is more about liberation, right? You are finally liberating yourself from the shackles, from the prison that you have been holding yourself in for so long. Now it is officially changing. Now it is truly changing. Now you are fully seeing, right? Obviously, I wear glasses. When you go to the eye doctor, right, they do like the little thing over your face. They're like, A or B, 1 or 2, 3 or 4, but it keeps getting clear, right? Every time that they do it, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. That's exactly what is happening right now. You are moving through phases and places and spaces within yourself internally that you are now finally seeing it externally. When you look in the mirror, you're like, not that person that I used to be. And I'm not going back to that old person either, because you're too far gone now to actually go back, okay? Really sit on that one. But let's keep going. So, like I said, we are in Leo season. So the Leo season adds that the sun is in its home, right? It's in Leo, the solar energy at its fullest power. Mercury is direct, communication is clear, things are moving fast pace. Jupiter conjunct the sun equals abundance, expansion. That's the luckiest energy, right? Jupiter is about luck and expansion and growth. It's right here. This is the time where we can take a hold of all of it. And remember, that Cancer new moon that was a few weeks ago, what did you plant during that new moon, right? What did you really try to call in and manifest within yourself? Whether if it was private, whether if it was public, one of those things that happened before, right, during that new moon, has probably come out in some way, shape, or form over these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So what's the seed? And this is the time that it blooms. Let's get in here to the Leo season layer. Bear with me. I have a little dyslexia, okay? And yes, I wrote this myself, but you already know how that goes. All right, so the Leo season layer for this Aquarius full moon. Cancer season had us deep in our feelings, doing the inner work, getting honest, and finding the real us, coming home to ourselves. That's the whole point. But Leo walks in and says, okay, we're done hiding. It's time to finally be seen. And some of us felt our chests tighten, when I say something like that, to finally be seen. Because maybe you're still a little afraid. Maybe you're still a little leery. Because being seen means people can actually look at you. And that's actually terrifying for a lot of us, because being small has felt the safest for a very long time. That's why we stayed in that state. But here is what I really want us to think about. We have spent the entire summer finding the real us. July has been asking us to invest in that person, show up consistently for that version of ourselves, take the action on behalf of that person. And Leo season here is the part where it all starts to show on the outside. Leo is a fixed fire. It digs in, it commits, it sees things through even when the initial excitement is gone. And that's exactly the energy we need right now, because we have been planting things this summer in quiet, showing up when nobody has been clapping, doing the work when it hasn't been cute, exciting, or easy. Leo season is the part where we stop abandoning ourselves. Right before the breakthrough, we fix it and we stay and we let it become real. This is the moment where your thoughts, dreams, desires become reality. And the Leo shadow, because we always have to name it, is when being seen becomes about needing applause to feel worth it. But we perform the version of ourselves that gets the most validation instead of the version that is most true to who we are. This Aquarius full moon is a check on that, because Aquarius does not care about the applause. Aquarius cares about who we actually are. A reminder in this season, feel free to let me know how you feel. But I feel for myself when I hear that about Aquarius, being in this moment of who are we really, without the applause, without the all of the theatrics that we're so used to. For me, it feels very eye-opening and a little scary, right? Obviously, whoever is watching this, you're watching this on my YouTube channel. Whether if you found me now or you've been a part of my journey, I've been through a lot in the last 2 years, okay? And 3 years almost now. It has changed me in many ways, for the good, the better. In other ways, it has shown me a lot of who I once was and how I refuse to ever go back to that. But it's so scary in this moment, in this season. Confirmation. It's so scary in this moment and in this season for myself, because I know deeply, intuitively, I know that I will be seen. I will be heard. I will have a bigger following. I already know these things. I already see these things. Like literally, I see these things. But it's scary because I have deep wounds, right? I have deep wounds about my parents and relationships and the way I grew up and the narcissistic, abusive household and all of these different things. And I'm starting to see who I really am. It was a lot easier to live life through the lens of what these people told me. And now when I have the true freedom, when I have the real control, I feel overwhelmed. I feel a little uneasy, if we're being honest. And even right here, right now, showing up as myself, right? It's a Sunday when I'm filming this. These are my pajamas. Like, I'm just chilling at my desk. This is my bedroom, right? Like, this is who I am. And I'm showing you my little my accoutrements, right? My little things that make me me. And those are things I used to hide, right? Those are things that I felt like I couldn't share. And for some reason, I don't know, whoever is watching this, if you are in content creation at all, if you are in entrepreneurship at all, just this is your reminder, especially during this Leo season. Being you is what's going to get you to that other side. Being someone else is not going to work for you. Okay, when you see those overnight successes, when you see people online making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, it's because they are who they are. I mean, everyone knows who Cardi B is, whether if they listen to rap or not. And quite truthfully, no matter what she's been in over the last decade, online and TV or whatever, she always shows up as 100% of herself, whether if you like it or not. And 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, most people do, because one of the main things that I see people commenting about Cardi B on any type of video, she's always real. She's always herself. She's showing up as a human. And that is what other humans crave, is actual human to human connection. And it doesn't matter what algorithm, what ads, what promotional, your people are meant to find you. They will, because they're looking for you. And that is just a reminder, even to myself, in this moment, of me being me is more than enough. And I'm worthy of anybody that comes my way that feels like they want to pay me for my gifts, my talents, my teachings, you know? That's not a bad thing. That's literally what I want. I want to help people, but I do want to get paid for it, okay? I do. Shit, sue me. But I know, right? I know that I'm worthy of that, but my body, right? My subconscious isn't fully connected with that yet. And that is what I'm working on. So I know slow and steady wins the race, but I'm still a human and I live in society. So I'm like, okay, well, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. And that's the problem, right? This is what this Leo season, this Aquarius full moon is really bringing out of us. Who are you really? What, Cancer season was bringing out the wound, and Aquarius full moon is bringing out the clarity of who you really are behind the wound. So let's hop in. Let's go deeper. Bear with me. I'm going to take a drink. And for those of you that are new, if you can't tell, I'm a certified yapper, okay? There's never not going to be a day, a time that I'm going to do like a 2-3 minute video. I literally can't. But let's hop into it. What I'm noticing with this Aquarius full moon, what I'm really noticing right now is how many of us are standing in the exact threshold we have been building towards all summer. And we're still looking for a reason to wait. We did the inner work. We planted the seeds. We showed up for ourselves in private when no one has been watching. And now the moon is full and Leo season is here and the lights are on, baby. And some of us are still waiting for permission to step into it. This full moon is not asking us for more. This full moon is not giving us more time to hide. It is asking us to bloom. It is asking us to be who we are, to show what we have built thus far, even when we feel like we are not 100% ready. So I have 4 main points for this. My first point here, look at what became visible during the Cancer new moon. That is the seed showing you its first leaves. So about 2 weeks ago, the Cancer new moon, we planted something quiet, honest, private, deep. We got still, we got real, and we named something out loud in this space and let that space be the witness. And I said it then, and I'll say it now. We can plant privately in Cancer, but Cancer amplifies publicly in Aquarius. The internal clarity becomes external expression. Let me read that one more time. The internal clarity becomes external expression. The private becomes visible. And I hate to break it to you, babes, we're here, whether you feel like it or not. So I want us to actually look at what has shifted in ourselves since that new moon, roughly around July 14th, okay? Not dramatically, not perfectly, not even subtly, because this is the first illumination of that seed. It might not look like a full bloom yet, and it probably isn't. It might just be the first leaves breaking through the soil. What clarity has arrived that wasn't there before? What has become undeniable that you were still half avoiding 2 weeks ago? What small things showed up differently in how you see yourself, how you showed up, and the choices that you made and the conversation that you had with yourself? What did you actually do for you? That is your seed. That is what this Cancer new moon was showing you. And now this Aquarius full moon is showing you the first results. And I need us to take a second and receive what I am saying here. Instead of immediately looking ahead of what was not done, this Aquarius moon, conjunct Pluto, is not letting the real stuff stay hidden anymore. Pluto pulls truth to the surface. It doesn't do it scared. It does it because what is hidden cannot grow into what it is meant to be. And the Leo sun conjunct Jupiter is saying this to us. What surfaces right now has been more expansive, abundant, luminous energy of the year behind it? This is not a small moment. What you let be seen right now has staying power. It has the universe's full cosign. So take a second and ask yourself, what becomes visible or shifted? What has become visible or shifted since this new moon in Cancer just a few weeks ago? Look at your life right now. What is showing up that wasn't there before? That is your seed. Let yourself see it. This is what I do in my membership group. I always read off and then I share my own before we hop into anybody else sharing, because I feel that it is important as a leader to be vulnerable and to be real. Because for me, I want to be a guide. I don't want to pretend like I am at a higher level than you or that I'm better than you. I might be further along, but that just gives me the help to help you. And maybe I'm not further along. A lot of times in my membership group, there's so many things that my members have helped me realize without me even realizing it until later. But with all of this energy, with this first point here, I know for myself, I have seen a lot of expansive growth of who I really am and what I really want, right? And it is showing up in real time. I was hanging out with one of my best friends I've known for almost 20 years. Okay, I do confirmation burps a lot, so when you hear it, just know it's real. So in this moment, I was hanging out with my friend and she's like, Brie, you're so different, but not like in a bad way, right? She was like saying to me, she was like, you're so different now. She was like, we like went out, got Chili's, triple dipper, margs, hanging out, went shopping, Target, Marshalls, all that kind of stuff. And it was so crazy because she's like, just a few years ago, you were too afraid to even buy yourself toothpaste because you were so worried about what your parents were going to say about the money that you were spending. They were pocket watching you, all of this other stuff. And now that I have transitioned and I'm living in a space where I feel safe and my family is safe and I'm finally finding myself, I'm realizing that I am, a different person. Who I am is not bad because they told me it was bad, because it wasn't right, because it wasn't what they wanted. Who I am is necessary. Who I am is more than enough. And that's taken a lot of time and therapy and time and all these other things for me to really see that, to really believe that. And I'm still on that path. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even believe it 100% all the time. But I am at this point in this place in my life where I'm like, I'm not living like this no more. I can't keep people pleasing. I can't keep wearing the mask. It's exhausting. It's literally exhausting. And I have a 2-year-old daughter. I am going to be her first line of what it looks like to be a woman, how to take care of yourself. How am I going to function in the world and society, and how I love myself, right? Not only is this chapter for me, but I'm doing this for my daughter. And I take it very seriously. I feel like people around me don't realize how seriously I take it. Like, I am committed to this, and I'm committed to myself. But a lot of times it's really scary, right? Like I was talking about, it's petrifying, really, because everything that you once knew, everything that felt safe, didn't say that it felt great, but felt safe, right? That chaos, the merry-go-round of hell, the constant chaos tornado, that is what you're used to. What if you were actually at the beach and you weren't stuck in a tsunami or a hurricane? You actually got to sit on the beach. You got to build the sandcastle. You got to lay in the sun. You got to read your book. You got to, take a dip without anything bad happening. A lot of us don't know what that feels like. And I am finally getting to a place where I am finally realizing that I don't have to live my life like that. That's what this full moon is really pulling out of us, right? What exactly is it for this full moon that we can release within ourselves so that we can start really showing the world who we really are? And, call back to whoever this was for content creation or just showing up online, entrepreneurship. Butterflies are very significant. 333 is very significant. Dragons are very significant, and also chili peppers, specifically like chilies. But you're at this place, right? You're at this moment, this precipice. The Fool in tarot, right? The major arcana is the Fool's journey, right? From jumping off that cliff to going all the way through all the different ups and downs and merry-go-rounds in between. You are on your Fool's journey, and you're being asked to see who you really are, to hone in on your own craft, to really expand during this Leo season and understand who you really are and really show up and show out. Not just in I gotta flex, I gotta flash, I gotta do that. No, that is not what is being asked of you. What is being asked of you in this moment is to really see yourself and really show yourself. Whether if people like it or not, you're going to find your people. I know it. I feel it. I have people in my group that, in my Stella Nova collective, I literally have people on there. We laugh and joke about it all the time. Like, we're just all strangers on the internet. But they found me. Whether if it was a YouTube video, if it was a TikTok, if it was this, if it was that, and they have stayed by my side for over a year now. And like, what a blessing. What a beautiful blessing that is to me. Like, I have so much gratitude for that because they stayed for me. They've seen everything in the background of like what is going on in my life that I don't show all the time online. But that's why I created that space. I created that space to be safe, seen, and heard and supported because I never felt that in my life. And I wanted to give that to other people. But they are also giving that to me. And I couldn't have asked for more. So what can you do in this moment to expand yourself? Okay? Thought number 1. Let's hop into number 2. I just love my little iPad mini. Okay, so number 2. What I am seeing right now. Your shine is not selfish. It is the fucking service. Okay? So this Leo Aquarius axis, I don't need to sit here because the medicine is this full moon. Every full moon happens across an axis. The sun right now is in Leo and the moon is in Aquarius. And this is the tension between the two. Leo is an individual expression, heart-led joy, being seen and owning your own shine. And Aquarius is collective, community, the bigger vision, belonging to something beyond yourself. And Leo is saying, I want to be seen. I want to shine. I want to fully express myself to the fullest. And Aquarius is saying, but does your shine actually serve something bigger than just you? And here's where a lot of us get stuck. Because we've been taught that wanting to be seen is vain, that shining bright is arrogant, that taking up space is selfish. So we shrink, we edit, and we convince ourselves that we're that we're better off to be smaller. We dim the things that make us actually us so that other people feel more comfortable around us. And again, miss me with that shit completely, okay? Because here is the medicine of this Leo Aquarius axis. You do not have to choose between shining bright and also serving. The most powerful version of Leo and Aquarius energy is when your individual expression becomes your contribution to the collective. When you shine so fully and authentically that it gives other people permission to do the same, your light is not selfish, babe. Your visibility is not vain. When you show up as the real version of yourself, not the edited version, the real one, you're doing something for every single person watching who has been waiting for the permission to do the same. Your shine is the fucking service. And with the sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo right now, we have the luckiest, most expansive energy of the year sitting behind this truth. The universe is not whispering. It is saying it with its whole damn chest. You being fully you is not too much. It never has been and never will be. It is exactly what is needed. So something to think about, right? Where have you been dimming yourself to stay this small? What would it look like if you let the full version of you actually be visible? Not to perform, not for applause, but because it is actually who you are. Confirmation on the point, okay? let me break this down, right? This is all stuff that I have been saying, but the reality of this, my own personal experience. I have been online for years. I used to do branding strategy business. I've done personal assisting. I've done sales. I've done medical field. I've done a lot of stuff. I used to do makeup, skincare. I'm a Sagittarius rising. I like to do a lot of I like to do a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, I know that this is where I shine the brightest. Me being a certified yapper, that is where I shine the brightest. I talk with my hands. I am constantly running my mouth, but in a good way. But me showing me like full expansively, like I was in theater, in musicals, in choirs. I did all of that growing up, but it was always the persona, right? Who was the character that I was playing today? It wasn't who was I actually really. And because I grew up in the church and in a very religious family and people, places, things, I'm biracial. I've lived in white suburbia my entire life. Like, there's so much that I knew how to be a chameleon. I knew how to fit in and not show my realest self to other people because it was easier. That was my hypervigilance of how I could stay safe. And now I'm 31. I'll be 32 later on this year. Still look good. But like, I'm realizing I don't have the capacity to keep hiding anymore. I am realizing that I know that there are people out there looking for someone like me. I know that there's people out there that need someone like me to help guide them, to help lead them. I know that there are people out there needing somebody with my very specific je ne sais quoi, if you will, to lead them to the other side. But I'm nervous because I keep telling myself, what if I'm not enough? What if I'm too much for them? What if I'm too overbearing, too loud, too obnoxious, talks too much, looks too whatever, right? All of these fears, all of this scarcity that I've been holding on to for so long because other people in my life have told me I've been too loud, too much, too obnoxious, too this, too that. And if you correlate with any of this, if you relate with any of this, hear me when I say this to you right now, because this is coming from my truest self, my truest heart. They couldn't handle you because they couldn't handle themselves. They are, really think about these people that have told you this in your life, right? Are they 100% themselves? Are they not wearing a mask? Are they living their life and loving their life? Are they actually doing things or being the people or whatever you actually want to be a part of? No, 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 and hell no. So let's be real, right? Let's really lock this in right now for one another. You are not too much. You never have been, and you never will be. Because you are meant for a very specific type of person. Not every single person on this planet is meant to be this high profile celebrity like Michael Jackson, where everyone knows on multiple continents, right? You are meant to be seen and heard by a very specific group of people. And that is more than enough. That is exactly what you're looking for. The notoriety, the fame, the fortune, whatever it is, the real layers of that is you being free enough to be yourself and be accepted for it. That's really what it is. You can do that. You have the power to do that. But that requires you to start making choices for yourself, to be seen, to be heard fully. Don't hide. I'm showing up in my pajamas today because that's the energy I got for y'all. But that doesn't mean, I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to show up where I'm constantly prim, proper, my hair is done, my makeup's done every time I show up online, because that's not me. The real me is like, my daughter's napping. This is the capacity that I have. I got my notes. Let's do it, right? Like, that's just where I'm at. People will either love it, hate it, somewhere in the middle. This is what I'm giving. You have to be okay with what you're giving. And maybe you're still working on that. That's what this full moon's about. A little water break. How are you feeling about that? Drop it below. And listen, if you've made it this far, then you really love your girl, okay? But this is actually what my Stella Collective, this is how I run my meetings, where we go over each point. I talk about how it affects me. Other people do share, don't share, whatever. We move on to the next point. We meet bi-weekly. So we meet at the full moon and the new moon, whether if it's a few days before or after, to discuss, to really release, to really get that support and that community help. So if you're vibing with this, definitely check out the Stella Collective. But let's hop in. Number 3, what is undeniable right now? Pluto is not letting you look away. So this one's deep. The moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius is not here to make this comfortable. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. And when Pluto touches the moon, especially a full moon, it illuminates what we've been half aware of, but refusing to fully look at. This is, I can't keep living like this, and I know it energy. This is the moment where something shifts from uncontrollable awareness to complete undeniability. And here's what I want to name about that. It's not just about the big stuff. It's about the quiet patterns, the ones we've been running so long that they feel like that's just who we are. The conforming that we do automatically, the shrinking that's become reflective, reflexive. The editing of ourselves that happens so fast that we don't even know we've done it. Aquarius is asking us, where have I been conforming when I should have been innovating? Am I showing up as the real version of myself or the small version? What does my future actually look like when I stop editing myself for other people? That's a big one. And Pluto says, you already know the answer to every one of these questions, and you've known it for a while. I'm just not letting you pretend that you don't anymore. This is not scary, okay? This is liberation. This is freedom. This is permanent, deep transformation that this summer has been building towards this entire time. This is the thing we are excavating in Cancer season, planted during the new moon, and we are now watching the surface in full light as this Aquarius full moon. What is undeniable right now is the information. It is the compass. It is Pluto doing its job, pulling the truth up so we can finally do something about it. And here's the thing about Pluto's transformations. They are not reversible. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once something becomes undeniable, it stays undeniable, which means whatever is surfacing for you right now is not going back underground anytime soon. It is asking to be integrated, to be acknowledged, to finally be moved within the waves. Here's something to check in on. What has become completely undeniable for you under this full moon? What have you been half aware of that you can no longer pretend to not see? What does the truth want to do next? I think for me, what does my future actually look like when I stop editing myself for other people is like the biggest hit for me. I have my Pluto in Scorpio in my 12th house. So it is all about death and transformation. I'm a Scorpio stellium, 12th house. Okay, I have 5 planets. I'm not okay. But I'm really at this point in my season, in my life, where I am realizing that the future self that I truly want to be is not someone who is constantly so hyper vigilant and so hyper aware of other people's thoughts and feelings and, highly empathic. Like some of those things I just can't change. That's who I am. But those can't run my life anymore. I always used to run my life off of how my mother felt or my father felt, always making sure that I made sure they were good first and I would be fine as long as they were fine, because then I didn't feel like I had to fix it. And I'm realizing I cannot live my life like this anymore. I cannot continue to go down this path and this journey of only doing for others and never doing anything for myself. And it's not selfish. Me being me is not selfish. Me taking a break, me needing help, asking for help. I know I am worthy and I know I am deserving. But, it's not easy to ask for help when you've never asked for help before. Okay? I'm working on it. But what I'm really working on is showing up as myself. But it's hard because when you haven't fully seen yourself, it's hard for you to show up as that person. And for me, I didn't really know myself outside of sports or extracurriculars or the church or anything like that when I was growing up, or the lens of my parents. I moved out at 19 in my own apartment. That was the week that I turned 19. I got my own apartment. I graduated with my associates in broadcasting and communications, and I was working in the medical field. I was more adult than anybody in my life, and I would just sit at home when I came home from work because I literally didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to soothe myself. I didn't know how to nourish myself, because my whole life was me proving to other people that I could do this and I could outdo other people. I could outperform. I'm this overachiever, so on and so forth. But now I'm in my 30s. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a business owner. I'm an aunt. I'm all these things. And I think to myself, I don't even know what the hell I want. So I've been trying a bunch of new things. I've been trying to do more crafting. I've been doing my coloring on my iPad. Actually, I saw on TikTok this whole wrapping trend. So I wrapped my headphones, I wrapped my charger. I have another charger I've wrapped. I really enjoy it. It's something that makes me feel good. I love painting. I'm trying to dabble into more clay work and things like that. I'm realizing that I am more than just my business. I am more than just the wife. I am more than just a mom. I am more than just this. These are all aspects of me that create me. And I think the biggest part of what this full moon energy is asking of us right now is, can you love and accept you? Not just the versions of you that you think people love and accept, but all the versions of yourself. Do you really love yourself for real? Do you love all versions of yourself? Do you really see yourself to where you can actually be expansive and show up, not just for you, but for other people in the way that you want to. Confirmation. Okay, clock the T. So my last point as we finish up our time here. I'll say this before I get into this last point. You already know what you need to do. And if you truly are confused, take time outside and ground yourself. Shut off your brain. And even if it's running 1,000,000 miles a minute, okay, that's okay. Take the time to breathe and ground yourself. It could be in bed, it could be outside, it can be anything. I personally believe fresh air really helps clear the mind. But take the time to understand what is actually coming through so you can process it and you can let it go, right? The full moon is about release. The next few days, a lot of shit's gonna come up about releasing for this next version of you because it is Leo season. So it's about you. This is all about you. So what can you do for yourself? Okay, so let's finish here. Number 4, stop waiting to feel ready. Mercury is direct, the fog is gone, and the moment is now. Okay, babes, this is the one that ties it all together. So let's lock in. Mercury went direct on July 23rd. The retrograde fog has been lifted. The clarity is here. And this full moon with the Jupiter, Cazimi, the Leo sun, the luckiest, most expansive aspect of this year, is saying one thing louder than anything else. Now. Not when you feel more ready, not when you've healed more, not when the timing is better, not when the platform's bigger, not when you finally feel confident enough. Now, as who you are right now. What you've built so far is more than enough. We've been doing the work all summer. I mean, shit, we've been doing the work all year. Finding ourselves in June, coming home to ourselves in July, investing and showing up and taking action even when it was scary and we were tired and we couldn't see if it was truly working. And the pattern a lot of us have, the one that Cancer season helped evacuate from us, the one that Cancer new moon asked us to plant something new in place of, is that we abandon ourselves right before the breakthrough. We do all of the inner work. And then when it is time to actually let it be visible, we find one more reason to wait, one more thing to fix, one more version of, I'm not quite ready now. It's time to miss me with that shit, okay? This full moon, is the payoff of everything you've been doing. You've done the inner work, babe. You've showed up consistently when no one has been watching. You chose yourself when it was hard or inconvenient or uncertain. And the universe, through Jupiter conjunct the Leo sun, through Mercury going direct, through the massive Aquarius full moon, you did the thing. Now let yourself actually receive. Step forward. Be seen. Let what's been internal become external. Let the real version of you be visible now. August is about owning your shine, babes. This is the whole theme of what this Aquarius full moon is bringing to us. You cannot own something you are still waiting to feel ready for. So the question is not, am I ready? You are ready. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing to show you? The final check-in. What are you done waiting on? What is the one thing you are committing to stepping into or letting be visible as this full moon peaks this Wednesday? Name it. Say it like you mean it. Let me take this in for a second here. I'm going to read this last one again. So the question is not, am I ready? Because you are ready. The question is, are you willing? I think willingness is the real sign of strength. and confidence, because you can't just have confidence without taking action and actually proving to not only yourself in the physical, but yourself in the mental and the subconscious that you can do said thing. I started Stella Nova super messy. I started Stella Nova just to get the hell out of my parents' house. And I did. But it wasn't because of my business. It was because I made hard choices. I set boundaries. I showed myself. I expressed my feelings to my narcissistic parents. And they truly showed me who they were in more than one way. And I realized through them, I would never be enough. Not the way that I was showing up, not the way that I was trying to fully realize who I was. Because at that time, I literally just have given birth. I had my daughter. I'm a first-time mom. I lost everything. I lost my home. I lost my car. I lost my dog. I lost my aunt. I was lost. I was scared and I was grieving. And that was really my death rebirth moment of finally realizing I am no longer who I was. I am truly transforming into who I truly am. And I think that was scary, not just for me, but for people around me, especially people that have known me for a very long time, that have seen me through different seasons. This is one of my biggest seasons. This is a true chapter. I was saying to my therapist, I can't wait till this next chapter because I feel it so deeply that it's going to change my life. She said, "What do you mean, new chapter?" She said, "You started your new book the moment you left your parents' house, the moment you went no contact, the moment you set your boundaries, the moment you decided you no longer are going to be this person for other people's sake. You're going to start being the version of you for you." And that really cleared up a lot of shit for me. And I'm realizing now, like, wow, I really am, this person that all these other people have been telling me for so long. I'm finally seeing it myself. And I'm actually starting to not only see it, but believe it. I know I am more than worthy to be able to lead and guide people through crazy transformation. I've already been doing it within my Stella Nova collective. I've already done it within my own life. I know I am an intuitive channel. I am a psychic medium. I am a tarot reader. I am all of these things. I know this. I know, and I am confident. I know that who I am at my core, my fullest version of me, is not only worthy, but deserving of whatever is to come with me showing who I really am. And right now, I am willing. I don't want to keep living my life like this, y'all. I don't know about you, but I don't. I'm sick and tired of the merry-go-round of hell. I'm ready to jump off. So if you're ready to jump off, take this full moon seriously. What do you need to let go of? What is really coming up and out for you right now to really clear the path and the way to get to where you want to go? I know for me, I got a lot of stuff internally I need to clear up about my worthiness, and because it's really easy to say it, right? But it's another thing to actually act on it. And I know I can say it, and I'm still struggling with fully acting on it. So that I know is something that I'm going to be releasing. But I know as the days go by before we hit Wednesday, more things are going to come up and out. Take the time for yourself this week. Okay? If you have questions, comments, concerns, thoughts of any kind, drop them below. If you're wanting to book a private reading with me, check out the link below. And if you're wanting to join the Stella Nova Collective, get more of this kind of energy. Yes, I will post this on YouTube, things like that, but let's be real. If you really want live and in color, Bree, if you thought this was good, hop on a call with me, okay? Hop on a live call with me and you're going to get everything and more. So check it out, DM me, whatever. Hit me up, girlfriend. I am here for you. But I'm really hoping that this full moon for you is not only going to illuminate so much within, but without. I hope you truly see who you really are, because who you really are is honestly dope as fuck. And I hope you really see that. Love you, boo.